Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we are going to cover the FR strategy and the planner. In my previous videos I have completed the direct tax, indirect tax, audit and AFM strategy and planner. If you have not watched those videos, do watch those videos because it will be helpful for your May 26 preparation. And if you are watching this video for the first time, each and every video that I have posted is in a playlist called as CA Final Series. So you can watch the videos of DT strategy, IDT, AFM and audit in that playlist only. So now without wasting much time, let's start with this video as well. The videos are going to be long, so watch it on 2x, but do watch the entire video. However, this video will not be long enough, so you can watch it on 1.5x as well. So the first point, as I usually covered in my previous video, that is the videos you must watch, and the only video that you must watch for FR is the RTP video for the Jan 26, September 25 and May 25, and even the May 26th attempt, that will be your attempt. Because in the RTP section, there are many questions that are new. And in Jan 26, even in the IBS paper, there was a 4-mark question that came from the RTP FR paper. So do not skip the RTP of Jan 26, September 25 and May 25. Now coming to the second point, if you have watched my previous video, you can skip this part. That is the planner, and you have to do at least 3 revision, and the first revision should complete by 8 to 10 days. And in that revision, you have to do all the concept, the question bank, because in FR and AFM, the question bank is very important. If you skip the question bank, you can skip the attempt. You have to give the September 26 attempt. So do not skip the question bank. And there are, if there are any new questions, you have to do that new questions as well. And after giving the first revision, do the mock test. It is the same pattern that I have continued in the previous 4 videos. So if you have watched that video, skip this part. The second revision should complete by 5 to 6 days. But in this revision, you have to inculcate the RTP section. So the RTP for May 26, Jan 26, September 25 and May 25. These 4 RTPs you must cover because there are many new questions in these RTPs, and chances are high that if the paper comes on a tougher side, the questions might arise directly from the RTP only. And after doing the entire second revision, you have to again give a mock test, and just for reference, do the Jan 26 paper. You do not have to do the entire question, just skim through the entire Jan 26 paper, because in Jan 26 the FR paper was an easier one, so it was not a tough one that you have to do the entire question. Just skim through the Jan 26 paper. And in the third revision, you have to do the same thing, but I have told you in the previous video as well that while doing your first revision, you have to mark the important questions from the question bank, and in the second and the third revision, you have to only do those questions because there is not much enough time to do the entire questions in the second and the third revision, and FR is a very lengthy subject, so you understand it that you have to do only the important questions only. Now coming to the mock test series, I have repeated it many times in my previous video. The only mock test series that you must purchase should be the AR1 mock test series, and I have told you why it is. So do purchase only the AR1 mock test series and give the mock test from them only. Now coming to the fourth point, and it is one of the most important point of this video, so do not skip this part. So firstly, you should not skip the theory part. There are around only 2 to 3 chapters of theory in the entire FR subject, because sure you will get one question of 4 marks from these 3 chapters. So do not skip the theory part. Read only the important questions if you want, but do not skip the theory part. Now second point, do not focus only on the big chapters. You have to focus on the small chapters as well. So the financial instrument, business combination, consolidation, these are the big chapters of the FR subject. You should not only focus on those subjects, you have to focus on the small chapter, that is the Indias 116, 37, 40. All these are also important chapters. So if you think that you will only do the big chapters and you will be able to crack the FR subject, FR paper, sorry, it is not possible, because in the big chapters you will get tricky questions, and in the smaller one you will get copy pasted questions. So do not skip the small chapters and do not take it lightly, because the small chapters will only let you pass and get an exemption in FR subject. So do not skip that. Now the pro tip is that for your FR subject in the last revision, that before your exam you have to take 6 days, not 5 days, and in the first 5 days you have to complete the entire revision for one time. and in the last one day you have to do another revision of the important chapters, that is the recurring chapters that are coming in the FR subject. You have to do those chapters in the second revision. So this is what I had done in my Jan 26 exam. I did the FR for one time in 5 days, and then the important chapters, that the recurring chapters or the expected chapters, I did it for the second time in the last 1.5 days. So you should do that, because in the last 1.5 days you will be able to recall each and everything, and while giving your exams you will not forget any concept from the important chapters. And because FR is the first subject, first paper, you have to confidently give the entire paper, and then only you will be able to pass that confidence in the second and the third paper. So that is why the pro tip is you have to give 6 days for your last revision of FR. Now in FR and AFM, you should not go for the ABC category chapters. You have to do the entire chapter, but in the last revision, that is in 1.5 days, as I have told you, you can go for the A and B category chapters. You can revise that chapters only in the last 1.5 days. But before that, in the first revision, second revision, third revision, and even in the 5 days of the last revision, you have to do the entire book, because in FR and AFM there can be no guarantee that which chapter arrives in your paper. So do the entire subject of FR and AFM and do not go for ABC category. Now the fifth point, focus on concepts where there are lesser questions. And yes, it is one of the things that I learned from giving my Jan 26 exam, that focus on those concepts where there are lesser questions. Because in the 14-mark question that arrived in my exam, there was one adjustment in the entire question that was included in the concept book, but there were no questions in the question bank of for that concept, and the same concept came in my question. So you have to focus on those concepts where there are lesser questions, and if the paper comes on a tougher side, you will find that there are many questions that come from those concepts only, where there are lesser questions for your practice. So focus on them and do not skip that concept. And lastly, just purchase the new books, because there will be new questions, and if you have purchased the FR and AFM book 2 years back, you will not find the new questions in your question bank. So if you can afford, directly purchase the new question bank from whatever faculty that you have taken the lecture, but do purchase it. But if you cannot, just take the printout of the new question, because you cannot skip the new question, because there are high chances that the questions might arrive from the new questions only. So do not skip that. And now coming to the last point, that is my experience of the Jan 26 exam. So FR paper was an easier one for everyone who gave their Jan 26 attempt, because there were many questions that were copy pasted, and it was more of a theory paper rather than a practical one. So ICI played a game again. So they gave a lengthy paper, but it was a theory paper. So you have to write each and every answers in theory. Not there was less practicality in that question. So it was an easier one overall, but if you have not kept your speed, it would be a tough one, because you will not be able to complete your exam. So this was the entire video for the FR strategy. And if you like this video, do share this video to all your friends who are going to give their exam in May 26. Further, if you are not able to afford the mock test series, in my drive link, I have shared the mock test series that I purchased. So you can practice the mock from that paper only. And I will also share the strategy of how to prepare the IBS paper. It is one of the toughest paper and nobody knows how to prepare it. But after giving my Jan 26, I will share my experience and what all points that you need to keep in mind while preparing for IBS. I will share that video as well. So after that, all the 6 paper strategy will be completed. And if you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section, or if you have my number, you can directly ask me through the WhatsApp as well. If you like this video, do subscribe this channel, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, thank you so much for watching this video, and bye bye.